Let us do the things. Let us do the things.
Hi, greetings. How are you? My name is dieshaobie, and I'm your new favorite mindset coach. It is really just that simple. I am here to train and guide a community of people into partnering with their mind. So I love to say this. I feel like it's so easy to understand that the mind is both the easiest and most difficult thing to change or transform. And with that being true, instead of kind of fighting against your thoughts, your beliefs, your opinions, your experiences, your memories, you partner with them in an effort to explore, investigate, and be open to possibilities that are not even right at the forefront of your mind or within your mind at all. So really opening yourself up to the full opportunity for your expression of life. This is obviously my first video, and I just want to welcome you, tell you a little bit about myself, give you a little bit of perspective into my who, what, when, where, why, how, and hopefully encourage and inspire you to join me on this journey. Okay, so with that being said, my name is dieshaobie. I am from the great state of Florida, and I'll spend a little bit of time here just dropping some accolades, but this is like one time only because you don't need degrees, you don't need certifications, you don't need specific trainings or associations in order to give valuation to your humanhood. Your humanhood has valuation simply, plainly, just because it is. And not just humanhood, right? But life in and of itself. But some accolades, for the people in the back. Okay, so like I said, I'm from the great state of Florida. And for undergraduate, I went to the University of Florida. I studied linguistics at the University of Florida. After undergraduate, I went to law school. I took a gap year for law school, before law school, but I went to Howard University School of Law, and I studied there for 3 years and graduated in 2020. While I was at Howard University School of Law, I kind of had a focus and an interest in constitutional law and contractual law. My thought was, or at least in my the letter that you write with your application, I was like, oh, I studied linguistics in undergraduate and I'll study the law, and my dreams, my hopes, my aspirations are that I'll be able to write laws that actually translate the ideas, the values, and the interests of the people in plain language, right? So that's what it's always been about, and I feel like I'm on that track. So that's like a little bit of my background. If you want more, I'll share more, of course. And we'll learn more about each other as we grow in this community. So again, I'm just so excited to have you here. But to the nitty gritty, to the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, the how, all the things. I have such big ideas. I have such a big vision in my mind, and I literally cannot do anything but let it out. I really can't. I have to let it out, even though it seems like an impossibility. There's this fever in my heart that lets me know that it's possible. And a part of its possibility is me being open with it, is me expressing it, is me daring to do the things. As you'll find, that's one of our themes here, is to do the things. And so these worldly ideas really have their root first in the concept of ecological harmony. And it's really as plain as it sounds. So ecology is all things. It's people, their environment, and the things within and around it, right? And harmony is balance. So the root of my worldly ideas is the hope that we can have ecological harmony. This idea is a term that I coined. It's not synonymous with utopia, though, shout out to utopia. It is ecological harmony. It's a recognition for the ebbs and flows. It's a recognition that not everything, or shall I say, nothing is perfect, but the perfection is in the imperfection. And so ecological harmony is really at the forefront of my mind in everything that I do. From ecological harmony came the baby of social evolution. And social evolution is the constant and consistent review and revamp of social structures in order to ensure that they're operating to enable humanity's highest potential. All that means, I can say it fast, I can say it true, I know it, and I know it's coming, but all that means is that there are all these theories for social organization, whether it be democracy, oligarchy, totalitarianism, communism, socialism, whatever it be, there's some theory for social organization out there that you can say, oh, I'll pick this, I'll apply it to my society, and I'll hope it works. Social evolution is a social organization theory that says, no, we're not going to start with the theory and apply it. We're going to talk to the people that it must be applied to. Ask them what their interests are. Ask them what their day-to-day needs are. Ask them what the operations of their communities are. Ask them to share themselves. Ask them to express themselves. Ask them to sit at a round table across from and amongst each other and discuss, what do we need to make our society operable? What do we need to enjoy our lives? What do we need to have contentment in a way that allows us to be amongst our family in a lighthearted way, that allows us to feel safe in our homes, and that allows us to give the due respect necessary for the coexistence of all of us that are in community together. So that's really what I felt like when I looked at social organization theories. Like, what are they missing? And they're missing the human factor. They're missing the living generation of people having stake in and having say in what makes sense for what they're dealing with in their daily lives. And so social evolution captures all of that, and it does so beautifully. When thinking about social evolution, my next step was, how can I offer this solution to the world? How can I bring this to life in a real way, in a way that people can hold on to and do something with? And that is how we bore the baby of the human rights effort. Now, the human rights effort is a grassroots movement dedicated to social evolution. So our big vision, our true vision, is to spread the concept of social evolution across the world, to put it in the hands of the people and to allow them, or to let them know that there is another way. There are more opportunities. You actually not only have a right to, but you have a duty to concretize the values, the interests, the needs of your current living generation, and to allow those ideas, those values, that collaboration to actually govern your life. And from time to time, each new living generation of people has not only the right, but the duty to do that same thing. So that's where the human rights effort comes from. Right now, we have a movement. As I said, I went to Howard University School of Law, and while I was in law school and we were studying the law, and we were reading, what the judges were saying, what the legislation was saying, I was just like, this is silly. This doesn't make sense for us. The Constitution was well written for its time. It was well written for the people that, it was well written for its time, but it doesn't work for us now. And it's not going to work for us now. And all that we can do to make sure that we have a society that does work for us is to get at the root of everything that our society is built out of. And that is the Constitution. So our current project in the United States is to host, advocate for, and execute a reconstitution to allow for the current living generation of people to have the opportunity to draft out a social contract that makes sense for them, that works for them, and that they actually have a stake in. And so those are a lot of worldly ideas, right? Big ideas, big visions. And you can imagine, especially as someone that's here, I'm sure you have your own big vision. I'm sure you have all of these passions like burning at the fire in your soul, right? And it's frustrating when you don't see those things coming into fruition. And it's frustrating when you feel like you're putting out your best effort and it's going impactless. It's frustrating. And so, a big part of changing the world, or what I realized about changing the world, is it is frustrating, but there's strategy to it. And not only is there strategy, but there's a true requirement for the undertaking that changing the world is. And that is that it doesn't happen overnight and it doesn't happen in a week, but it happens along cultural shifts over long periods of time. And how do you support or persuade a particular cultural shift? It starts with individuals. From individuals, it goes into relationships. And from relationships, it goes into families. And from families, it goes into communities, and so on and so forth. So I really wanted to find a way that I could marry these big ideas to practical application. And that is what we're doing right now. That is why I am so driven to help guide folks in being a partner with their mind, because social evolution, ecological harmony, these collaborative discussions, they don't mean convincing someone of my ideas. They mean seeing the full breadth of other human beings in their fullness and embracing the power of the person next to you, and both of you respecting the power of each other. And from that, from those unique ideas, perspectives, memories being shared with and across round tables, you invent, you create, you necessitate evolution. And so the groundwork is talking person to person. It is knocking door by door. It is encouraging people to unlock the binding, to unlock the social norms, to unlock the prescribed pipelines for success, to unlock this group think and open, shall dare I say, Pandora's box, but open the mind, open the full expression of all people, because, right, in our true being, in our soul, is that interconnectedness. And because we're conscious, it comes out in different ways due to, like I said, the biases, the social norms, the experiences, and so on and so forth. But the truth is that we are interconnected. The truth is that we do rely on each other. The truth is that in respecting the existence of another, I respect myself, right? And so through this channel, through this community, I really hope to grow your efforts in acceptance, grow your efforts in contentment, grow your efforts in exploration, and grow your efforts in seeing the opportunity that we all have right now to shift our own minds, and how that shift in our own minds actually shifts the world. It's twofold. I do have a vision. I do have a mission. I'm not just here saying things to say things. I've told you the truth here now. And if you watched this video, then you know what drives me and what's important to me. And I hope that this idea, this vision, my messages, my intentions can rub off on you. I don't hope to persuade you, but I hope to encourage you to embrace yourself fully. And from that, I know it's inevitable that you won't just show up as your best self, but byproduct of you showing up as your best self, the world will be better. That's it. That's all I have. Bear with me through these first few videos as I figure out, okay, what's going to be the send-off? What's going to be the intro? Either way, neither here nor there of those things, it will be, and it is. And so I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful to have your ear. I'm so grateful to have your time. I'm so excited to embark on this journey, no matter the time it takes. And it's a blessing to pursue your lifetime's purpose. But more important than anything else is I give thanks for the opportunity of a lifetime, the opportunity to live. And it would behoove me to fully take on this opportunity by doing the thing that drives my soul, that by doing the thing that brought my soul here, right? And like, there's really nothing else I can do. So I hope you love it. I hope you love it. I hope you join in. And I'm excited to see the day that the world is changed. Not in some way that's outside of our understanding, but because of our understanding of ourselves and each other. So thank you so much. I hope that you subscribe. I hope that you join the Patreon to continue this conversation and to grow out our community in a way that impacts the world ultimately.